Oh, is it Delton Revenard from the SVC? That's me. And how do you know my name? And how do you got my number? So what is a problem? Is there anything you always asking me about this? Well, I don't think you're the one who you contacted me before when we had a conversation. Well, at this precise, I think you're the one who's giving me the whole problems, I think. Because you assured me that I could speak. Maybe assurance, maybe giving Gary advice, but Gary isn't assured Jefferson. Gary did not assure us, but Gary always assuring Jefferson for the whole life, but he did not make in his right ways, he's give them all that kind of stuff. So what do you mean, but how do you know my number, and how do you know my name? What is the meaning of this? Well, it's because, Gary gave me your number. You know, I just added to my contact. Well, for some reason I'm really, really sorry. I did not do anything to you. I'm sorry, Delton, but my name is Brandon Haxon. So I am the police detective of the Police Liberation, and I'm working as a liberation of the police force. I'm Brandon Haxon. Nice to meet you. Well, actually, one of the undercovers wouldn't try their best, but you know, I wouldn't let you go by your sweeping that you're best friends forever. Wait, just a minute. Brandon Haxon, is it? Yes. Good. I'm Delton Revenard, and I'm working as an SVC, but I'm giving you my advice that it doesn't really need to care about what you're needed for, but you giving me a whole things, the whole information. So what do you mean your information that doesn't exist in no mores? But I had to say something to you though. It was an honesty plans, but what we always had to do is to destroy everything. But not quite, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do anything though, Brandon, but just in case we are sure that we speak clearly in the most ways. Well, in the most different ways, actually, but you're fine. It's alright, but you don't have to say sorry, though. It's not who you're thinking of, it's not who you're not think. Look everywhere. Snow's falling and everything is all clear changes. Oops. So tell me. So, how can I help you, though? So what can I do for you? I didn't know that you're giving me the right options, that you giving me the other informations. That doesn't. I heard about Gary, that Gary, he used to, but he did not listen to me when I was telling him to stop. But he said he's no longer to be arrested. So he broke out of prison a long time during the prison break. He is actually an escapism. We know that Gary is escapist, and he's escapism. One of the escapist people did not know what they're doing, but Gary is escapism and the murderer. For some reason, I think anyone who can mention that, they didn't know what they're doing, so it depends. Nothing serious. But you know, I'm not gonna be so. But for many differences between all those witnesses, they not really forget about all their stuff. So I'm thinking about that. So, you know, it's just giving me the whole thing for matters. No matter what it takes, no matter what it was. But I do not know what we want to do is, if we had to stop Gary, then Who's gonna find Gary? SUV agencies? No? Okay. Even one of these people don't make anything difference to us, but you know, I'm terribly getting honest, to be honest. You know, we're getting there actually now. We're getting there. But we get them all right as we wish. But it's up to his option right now, but I gave him his option if he needs to stay out or what. Giving his whole flowers. Flowers just like drugs and something. I need to tell you something that when I came back, and I just never seen him before when you came back, so you know he's not the real thing. He's not the same thing as issued. I have to tell him that he's gonna stop for rampaging. But he's rampage, but he has to stop the rampage for business. And even Jason, he didn't do anything wrong. So I told him to not to do anything or nothing serious. I hate being serious to him. But he giving us the right options. Suddenly. So I didn't mention about Jason, no, but instead he's not contagious anymore. But I had to stop him from his business. I was trying to think of now, Delton, is, you know, he's escapism as Gary's. Gary is escapism. He's already escaped from prison. So, what's he gonna do? But he's scarpered. But we lost him. Every police officers were searching him around the search area because around the area, Gary is somewhere around the area because the police will find him as soon as possible. And we've sent the air support to find Gary where he hides. So we didn't know where he is though. But although it's not a change constantly. But I'm always actually thinking of what we've trying to do now. Not to give up on all the days. But you know, there is no way we can do it as we wish. Trying to think about it. Trying to think about for one day. For one day, if he's never do it, he won't get it back as soon as possible, isn't he? But he is not in the blizzard, is he? No blizzards. No sandstorms. Or a wind walker. Nothing serious. I had you guess that though. The civilization and the other people were simulated because they have their simulation and then but they're causing our mind nothing to be serious. But he also found his way up then. He wasn't here somewhere else. Maybe somewhere at the alleyway or something, but I don't know. Maybe you should ask your Lieutenant Jefferson about this, but tell him that he's not even mentioned anymore. Doing his own rights anonymously. Tell you what, Brandon, I want you to take care of every these people who makes their way to the top comms, the tower comms around here somewhere. So why don't you just get to here as soon as possible and approach it? Approaching the area zones with one of the zone areas, you have to take them all these people out before they're entering every people's houses. Take care of them as soon as possible. You understand me? Okay. Alright, I'll do my best. I'll tell Jefferson about this, you know, I'll be back as soon as possible as I wish, so let's get on with our networks and our comms and communication, so I'll be right back as soon as possible, so see you, partner.